free quarter line, Jamie Stringer, Jacob Garside, former Bradford man Alex Brown and Courtney Allett. The halves are Danny Hurst and Richard Pogson. The forwards Jordan Williams, Ryan Manili, Mark Boothroyd, Nathan Chappell. A lot of experience in the Championship. Former Sheffield Eagles man Dominic Newton and Thomas Stringer. On the bench, Thomas Booth, Sam Roachford, Oliver Morehouse and Michael Holmes. He is a car salesman and works in Bradford. For the Bradford Bulls then, just 3 changes this afternoon. D. Foggy Johnston, George Flanagan and Dan Waite-Pullen coming for Greg Johnson, Evan Hodgson and Anthony England. It's Brandon Pickersgill at fullback, wing free quarter line, D. Foggy Johnston, Joe Brown, Ross Oakes and Manny Dawson-Jones. The halves, Rowan Milnes and Jordan Lilly. The forwards, Liam Kirk, Thomas Doyle, Steve Crossley, Adam Rooks, Brad Gallagher and Sam Hallis. And on the bench, George Flanagan, his 200th career appearance, Eben Skur, Levi Nzongu and making his Bradford Bulls debut, Dan Waite-Pullen. The referee from Castleford, Cameron Worsley, and Underbank will have first use of the ball. They will play directly into the sunshine. They will go from left to right, and they are 10 metres out from their own try line as Nathan Chappell is brought down there in a free-man tackle led there by Adam Rooks. Also in defence for the Bulls, Sam Hallis and Joe Brown. We have had 30 seconds gone here in the sunshine in Dewsbury. It's Pulse 2, Mick Leddell, Luke Mawson as Underbank are forced to kick on the last tackle, and they will get the ball up to the halfway line via the boot of Richard Pogson, and Pogson's kick is taken inside the Underbank half by Rowan Milnes. Out of dummy half there by Ross Oakes. Oakes makes 10 metres forward, 35 metres out now, looking for an early first score to suck away some of that Underbank enthusiasm as Hallis gets a pass down the middle with Kirk. 20 metres out now already. Kirk's got mud on the face, and there's an error in there at dummy half from Tom Doyle. The cheers from the Underbank fans will tell you. Referee Worsley, scrum, head and feed, and it will be head and feed to Underbank Rangers. What do we know about Underbank? Well, they're based in Holmfirth, near Huddersfield, last of the summer wine country. They are 135 years old. They were founded in 1884. Along with Millom, they are one of the oldest community clubs in the world of rugby league. They were the founder members of the National Conference League in 2003, and they have 2 famous players, none more so than Neil Fox and Harold Wagstaff. Neil Fox, of course, going on to coach Underbank in the late 80s. So we're just going to see Alex Brown. He was at the Bulls back in 2018. He'll get to his feet on the halfway line. He'll play the ball, and here come Underbank down the middle channel with Mark Boothroyd. Boothroyd, quick play the ball now. Out of dummy half from Manili. Straight down the front of this Bulls defence. The 25 metres out Underbank on the 5th and last tackle. Manili goes short side, kick through from Pogson. Pogson testing Pickersgill. Pickersgill traps it. Pickersgill does well, applies the brakes, and Brandon Pickersgill just gets out of his own in goal area there, and it remains Bradford 0, Underbank 0, 2.5 minutes gone. Luke Mawson, good afternoon. What can we expect this afternoon in the sunshine here? The Coral Challenge Cup. The journey starts for the Bulls.
Well, people still ask if the magic of the Challenge Cup's still alive. Mick, as Matty Dawson-Jones makes a break down the middle. There's some good scrambling on the bank defence there, but on afternoons like this you can certainly see the magic of the Challenge Cup still alive. And you've seen a spirited Underbank start here. Looking to pin Bradford inside their own half and see which side establishes some territory early on.
Bradford 20 shy of the halfway line on tackle number 4. Cries of a forward pass from the Underbank fans. Liam Kirk will carry the ball up to halfway. Last tackle here. Doyle out of dummy half to Milnes. Kick charge down. Underbank have it on the halfway line. So Rowan Milnes' kick, that was touched in flight, it went backwards, and Underbank have it with a loose forward. Thomas Stringer. Underbank's team is made up of teachers, farmers, paramedic and car salesman. There is a window cleaner for the Bulls in Steve Crossley. So yeah, we've got a whole host of occupations out there on the field. Underbank are 5 metres inside the Bradford half. It goes from Manili to Williams. A big don't argue there on Joe Brown and Steve Crossley to the left hand side of the post. 4 minutes gone, 0-0 here. Underbank growing in confidence, growing in stature. They're throwing the ball around. Pogson to Hurst. Danny Hurst is wrapped up. They've lost a little bit of ground. They're 40 metres out on the 5th and last tackle. Manili to Pogson. Pogson, a high hanging kick. Pickersgill commanding under the high ball. On his knees, sliding forward in the mud. He takes that one in the sunshine, and he'll get to his feet and he'll play the ball. Lillian at dummy half to Fogging Johnston. His first start in 2020. He'll play the ball 10 metres shy of halfway. Third tackle gone. Matty Dawson-Jones up to halfway for John Keegan's side. Milnes in at dummy half. Down the middle, it's going to go with Crossley. Crossley brought down by Boothroyd and Williams in a two-man tackle. Fourth tackle gone for the Bulls. Doyle to Hallis. Hallis down the middle. 25 metres out. Last tackle, says referee Worsley. Doyle on that right-hand edge to Lily. Lily kicks infield, but Owen Restall, he's a teacher. He's just come back from a skiing holiday with his students, and he will play the ball 5 metres out from his own try line. It's Bradford 0, Underbank 0, 5 minutes gone.
Yeah, not much in it so far. Bradford enjoying some stronger attacking plays early on and making more yardage, but Underbank holding firm with some solid defence. The kicking game from Bradford just a bit out of touch at the minute. Milnes' kick was charged down, then Jordan Lilly's just had a bit too much legs on it, but early on we got the signs that it's going to be a really good cup tie.
Well, the bookmakers' odds, Luke, before the game, Underbank were getting between a 34 and a 36 point start, so 6 try start today. So they think it's going to be a bit of a tough afternoon for John Keir and the Bulls. It's not going to be easy. So after Owen Restall took that last tackle play, Bradford are on the last tackle, and it has been charged down again. So Bradford had defended well. Underbank were trapped inside their own 20-metre line. The kick come from Pogson. It come off of Joe Brown, and Underbank have regathered the ball. So they're having an extended spell in possession here, and they'll be relatively pleased with how they are applying themselves. As we said, fresh burst of energy, an enthusiastic start from the men from home turf. We'll keep you up to date with some of those late kickoffs. We have kicked off early at 1 o'clock, but there's a couple of 2 and 2:30 kickoffs. But unfortunately, the majority of the Challenge Cup results will be completed when we're off air. Underbank 5 shy of halfway over on that left-hand edge. It goes there towards Alex Brown. Alex Brown, the former Batley, Hulkingston Rover and Bradford man, is brought down by Steve Crossley right in front of that far stand side. So 10 shy of halfway. The ball will go from Manili to Pogson. Pogson down the throat there of Matty Dawson-Jones. Dawson-Jones takes that on the full superbly. He's clattered by Jacob Garside, and Garside will just rub his face in the mud for good measure. Dawson-Jones to his feet. Oaks out of dummy half. Tackle 2. Just shy of halfway. Milnes now on this left-hand side to Gallagher. Gallagher's coughed the ball up. Second error of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. And look what that means to Underbank. They all come running in. They give Gallagher a pat on the back. And Bradford look a little bit rattled here. Important that that composure doesn't wane. No complacency creeping in. We've had 7 minutes gone on the Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 0, Underbank 0.
What Bradford don't want is to be drawn into a bit of an arm wrestle, a bit of a nitty-gritty with a few scuffles in this game. They want a strong start, and at the minute they're coming up with too many errors, and they're the architects of their own downfall at the minute. But take nothing away from Underbank's start so far. They're spirited. They've brought a good following with them, and it's anyone's game at this minute.
Underbank have the ball on the halfway line from that scrum. Manili once again gives it there to Hurst. Hurst to Newton. He's brought down 5 metres inside the Bradford half. If you're just joining us, it is Bradford 0, Underbank 0. And there's a real shock on the cards at present in this David versus Goliath Cup tie. Here goes Manili. Manili fires it to Pogson. Pogson along the line to Brown. Brown's brought down 15 metres inside the Bulls' half. Fourth tackle gone, says referee Worsley. Brown will play the ball. They're going down that short-hand side with Manili. Manili carries it up to the Bradford 20-metre line. Last tackle. There's a real ferocious, strong, swirling wind here as Underbank kick ahead down the middle. Too much on that one. That one will not hold up on the muddy, boggy field, and that will be a 7-tackle set here for the Bradford Bulls. Pickersgill takes that one from his own dead ball line. He will tap it on the 20-metre line, and he will look up, and he'll be brought down by 2 Underbank defenders in the maroon and gold. D. Fogging Johnston, tackle 2. 10 shy of halfway now. Matty Dawson-Jones, the former Hull FC winger. Brought down. What a start Matty Dawson-Jones has had to life at the Bulls. Scored a couple of tries on his debut against London. A try last week in that narrow defeat to Featherstone. Bradford in centre field now with Hallis. Doyle out a dummy half. He goes straight down the middle like a bulldozer, and he's brought down 20 metres out now in front of the post. Bradford a tackle remaining. It goes to Mills. Mills kicks over the top. Regathered by Ross Oakes. It touched a Underbank arm. It was Jacob Garside who made a play for the ball. First penalty of the afternoon as Owen Restel will hold Ross Oakes down in the tackle. 5 metres out from that Underbank line. Bradford this afternoon. There's another 11 homegrown players in John Keir's side. Despite those 3 changes, Rowan Mills will just kick the ball back towards our commentary position. It'll give the Bulls a little bit of space and movement. It'll be tapped there 10 metres out by Oakes. It goes to Gallagher. Gallagher keeps hold of the ball on this occasion. Tackle number 1. Flat pass there out of dummy half from Doyle to Kirk. Kirk's brought down underneath the Underbank post. We've had 10 minutes gone. First try coming, you suspect, as it goes from Mills to Crossley. Crossley to Oakes. Oakes out of dummy half. Is over the line. Has he got it down? Referee looks held up. Good scrambling defence there from Underbank Rangers. Ross Oakes prevented from grounding the ball. We go back to the 10. The ball's reset. It goes now to Doyle. Along the line to Mills. Mills once again to Kirk. Last tackle. The Bulls can't find a way past this maroon and gold defence. Can they now? It goes to Hallis to Mills. Matty Dawson-Jones can't get it at the corner. Try-saving tackle. Jamie Stringer. What a tackle. He went straight for the legs. And Matty Dawson-Jones 4 metres out. He sunk in the mud here, and it remains Bradford 0, Underbank 0. We've had 11 minutes gone on the clock, and Luke Mawson, we've said in a couple of games this season against London and Featherstone, the Bulls lack a little bit of conviction near their opposition line. 0-0, they couldn't breach Underbank on that occasion.
Yeah, when that pass went out to Matty Dawson-Jones there, it looked for all of us that he'd be going in for the game's first score, but good scrambling defence from Underbank again. Bradford just starting to get to grips with this game and establish some field position. Underbank struggled to make some yardage, but much to Bradford's enthusiasm in defence and a look to turn this field position into some points. As just as I say that, the commentators cursed and the referee awards Underbank their first penalty of the afternoon.
Well, the referee, Cameron Worsley, he was in charge on Tuesday evening when Dewsbury picked up their first win in 7. There was 24 penalties in that game, 2 red cards and 3 sin binnings. So a low penalty count this afternoon. Both coaches, Richard Knight and John Keir, understand the importance of a clean, disciplined game. Certainly on this cowpatch of a field, you don't want to be giving your opponents any advantage and leeway forward. So Underbank their first penalty. Penalty count 1 penalty apiece. They're 10 shy of halfway. Tackle number 1 completed. Williams gets to his feet. He'll play the ball. Manili out of dummy half to Newton. Dom Newton brought down. 2-man tackle. Lilly leads that defensive line with Adam Rooks. Back they're going to come down the middle. Manili to Hurst. Hurst now looks and finds the inside support of Boothroyd. Boothroyd on halfway. Centre field position here for Underbank Rangers. Manili scurries out a dummy half. Crossley comes in and gives him the big crunch and bunch and drags him down. 4th tackle gone here for Underbank. As Underbank now scurry forward once again. Bradford's marker defence on point. Very alert to the danger there. And Underbank 40 metres out on that last tackle. Manili in at dummy half. Gives it to Pogson. Pogson's kick has gone out on the full over that far stand side into the car park. It's caught the wind. And well, we said the wind's ferocious and strong. Is it friend or foe? It was foe on that occasion. And Bradford will have a play the ball on their own 40 metre line. Lilly finds Rooks. Rooks tackle 1. Rolled over on his back. Gets to his feet. Lilly once again in at dummy half. Now goes to Hallis. Hallis, the 23-year-old. We heard from him pre-match. Maturing into a real leader on the field for the Bulls. Down the middle, Bradford will go once again. 3rd tackle gone here now. It's still 0-0. Good run from Lilly. Now goes down the middle with Kirk. Kirk's brought down on tackle number 4, 25 metres out. Still looking for the first points of the afternoon. Mills down the middle. He's brought down on the last tackle. 12 metres out. 5th tackle coming up. It goes to Doyle, to Pickersgill. Gallagher's dropped the ball. Line was open. A gap had just materialised between Stringer and Garside. Bradford's fourth error in this opening 14 minutes here, and it remains Bradford 0, Underbank 0. Luke Mawson, another chance that's just gone begging.
You're starting to see Bradford establish some field position now in this tie, and another chance goes begging down on that left edge. Brad Gallagher just couldn't keep hold of the ball, the 2-on-1 overlap created, but some encouraging signs. Bradford starting to create some opportunities. They just now need to take them, but no signs of complacency from here, Mick.
Bradford defending well, and I think that is going to be ultimately where the game's won and lost this afternoon. Underbank really struggling to get a bit of go forward here. Third tackle gone. They're still inside their own 30-metre line, although they'll now escape it with Owen Restall, who somehow manages to beat one, beat two, head down, can't get past Gallagher, Crossley and Milnes in that three-man tackle. Fourth tackle gone. 10 shy of halfway. A kick out of dummy half from Manila. Over to Fogging Johnston. Fogging Johnston then just had to do a double take. There was a carrier bag blowing behind him. Important he picked the ball up but not the carrier bag, and D. Fogging Johnston's brought down on the halfway line, tackle number one. It now goes towards Lilly. Lilly out of dummy half. Gets the forwards running forward as it goes this time with Joe Brown. Now it goes out of dummy half from Lilly. He goes himself on this occasion. 30 metres out from the Underbank line. Now it goes back down the middle with Hallis. Hallis beats one. Can't get past Manili and Williams. Fourth tackle coming up here for Bradford. 16 minutes gone. 0-0. Milnes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill wrapped up in front of our commentary position. 15 metres out from that Underbank line. Oakes to Milnes. Ball's gone backwards. Another error from the Bulls here. Very uncharacteristic from the Bulls. They only made 7 errors against Featherstone last week. They're now up to 5. It was on the last tackle. Milnes just took his eye off the ball. It went to ground, and now Bradford have conceded another penalty. And it's Thomas Doyle who is penalised and picked out by referee Cameron Worsley for hands-on in the ruck. 17 minutes gone here at the Tetley Stadium. Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. Bradford 0, Underbank 0. A real attritional affair here in the mud on the top of Dewsbury Moor. Bradford, of course, 5-time Challenge Cup winners. 1944 versus Wigan. 47 against Leeds, 49 against Halifax, and then 2000 and 2003 against the old enemy Leeds in Murrayfield and Cardiff. Underbank on the halfway line. Manili's gone without the ball, and that will give the Bulls a full set of 6 inside the Underbank half here. Liam Kirk will recover possession for John Keir's side, and Bradford want to get a bit of a spurt on here as John Keir, for the first time this afternoon, sends Eben Skur, Danwaite, Pull and George Flanagan and Levi Nzongu out to train with the training tops on. So he must be itching perhaps to make the first interchange. 0-0 here. Milnes from the base of the scrum to Gallagher. Gallagher, 19 years of age, wrapped up 20 metres to the left-hand side of the post as they come down this main stand side. It goes from Milnes to Oakes. 2 tackles gone. Bradford 20 metres out. Penalty to the Bradford Bulls. Ross Oakes has been impeded from playing the ball, and all of a sudden, couple of penalties now. Bit of ill discipline creeping in, and Bradford will fancy the chances. Rowan Milnes looks at the post, looks at the wind, finds touch. Didn't fancy taking 2 points on offer there, and Bradford will eventually have a 10-metre restart here. Matty Dawson-Jones has just thrown the ball. It's caught the wind and it's gone ahead of Ross Oakes. He'll retrieve the ball. Gallagher to run it in on tackle number 1. Gallagher, 5 metres out now from that Underbank line. We're approaching the 20-minute mark. Down the middle with Liam Kirk. Kirk on the second tackle. Doyle's in there at dummy half. He goes to Milnes. Milnes, footwork, beats 1, beats 2. He can't beat 3 and 4. And Underbank scramble back on their own line. Milnes quick play the ball. Doyle, will he go himself? He will. He twists and turns. Doyle, can he reach out and score? No, he can't. He's millimetres short. Bradford on the Underbank line. Hallis passes the ball, but it's been kicked forward and it's been regathered by Adam Brooks. I've not seen anything like that before. It was a bit of a hospital pass but Adam Rooks has nursed it, and it's a try. It was on the floor. He hacked it forward into the in-goal area. And on such moments here, Challenge Cup ties can turn. Bradford 4, Underbank 0. And Adam Rooks has his first try in the red, amber and black. Well, I guess it doesn't matter how you score them, Luke Mawson. All it matters is the Bulls have 4 points on the board, and it's right to the right-hand side of the post, and the kick predictor at 84% for Milnes.
Certainly not one that'll feature in our Car Skip Hire Try of the Month poll going out this week, Mick, but they all count, and I think it's what Bradford needed and probably just what Bradford deserved. They started to create a few chances, couldn't quite keep the ball, but managed to make this one stick, and they'll hope they can build on from this. But take nothing away from Underbank. There's only 4 points, potentially 6 points in this one, and they've certainly been worth their position in this game so far.
Rowan Milnes from in front of the post, between the post and the black dot, that one will go. So Adam Rooks, his first try in the red, amber and black. He's on loan from Hulkiston Rovers. He represented Yorkshire at under-19 level last season in the Academy Origin. And that will give the Bulls a huge lift here as we hit the halfway point in this first half. Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2. Don't forget, you can use the Bulls Live hashtag. You can get us at Pulse 2 MDL and also on the app. For anyone listening on the app, send a message free of charge. Let us know your thoughts on this opening 20 minutes here this afternoon. It is Bradford 6, Underbank 0. And Rowan Milnes did well there with a very shallow, short restart by the visitors here to Dewsbury. Bradford have the ball now as Maddie Dawson-Jones moves it out of dummy half. 5 shy of halfway. Pickersgill's in at dummy half. They're going to go straight down the middle. Pickersgill makes 15 metres forward there. 4th tackle gone here for the Bradford Bulls. 1 remaining. The 40 metres out. Centre field. It goes to Doyle. To Lilly. To Rooks. Rooks has just lost the ball there, and Underbank recover with Alex Brown over on the far stand side. It'll go over towards Courtney Alette, and Alette's going to be brought down 8 metres shy of halfway, and that is the 0 tackle. So head coach Richard Knight now, and Underbank will have an opportunity to build a little bit of pressure as Defogging Johnson comes in and wraps up Nathan Chappell, but Defogging Johnson is penalised because Nathan Chappell has had his leg pulled. So 3 penalties apiece now. 6 in total, and we have 18.5 minutes remaining to half time. Don't forget, you can get us on social media. Those listening on the app, send a message free of charge, top right hand corner, and don't forget, use the Bulls Live hashtag, and you can also get us on Facebook at Bradford Bulls Live. So Underbank, tackle number 1, 40 metres out from that Bradford try line. Manila to Williams. Williams is going to be brought down, 25 out. Real opportunity here for the visitors. Goes to Hurst. Hurst finds the inside support from Garside, but Garside, after a crunching tackle there from Liam Kirk, he has lost the ball, and that will be the 3rd error of the afternoon for the visitors. Well, John Kay was confident that the 17 players he's picked today will respect the opposition and prepare themselves as they would any other game, and I think we've seen that, Luke. Very difficult conditions. It's very boggy, very soggy. It's heavy underfoot. I know Bradford have come up with 5 errors thus far, but they're certainly growing in confidence and stature in this game.
John certainly won't be happy with the amount of errors his side's made early on here, but what he will be happy with is the enthusiasm. There's certainly no signs of complacency. John's a smart coach, and he's been around this game long enough to know no game's won until the whistle goes, and certainly that seems to be the message he sent his side out with today. With Bradford now in the Underbank half, 40 metres out with Steve Crossley. They just look at assert their authority and potentially stretch this game out. With Jordan Lilly on the right hand side, he offloads to Brandon Pickersgill, and Underbank scrambling well in defence again, looking to avert the Bradford threat, but as it stands, Brandon Pickersgill's getting up off his feet there. Liam Kirk taking the ball into the Underbank line. Underbank will be relatively pleased themselves, although have had them matched Bradford in this opening quarter.
Liam Kirk on the last tackle now. Doyle out a dummy half. It goes to Milnes. Milnes through a gap. Milnes still going. Head down. Brought down on his knees. 8 metres out. Good scrambling defence once again from Underbank. They opened the door and then they slammed it shut. Manili coming. Also with Williams. Boothroyd was at the side and Milnes was brought down. 8 metres out in front of the Underbank post. We've had 24 minutes gone here this afternoon. I tell you what, it's a real fascinating cup tie in the Challenge Cup. Bradford not having it all their own way, but as I've said, I think where the Bulls are going to get Underbank based on what we've seen in the opening 24 minutes is on defence. First interchange of the afternoon for Underbank as Sam Roachford comes on the field. The wind just picking up my notepad and notes, just blustering in the wind as fullback Owen Restall for Underbank will carry Steve Crossley and Thomas Doyle with him as he just gets to halfway. An early kick from Danny Hurst there. Straight down the throat of Pickersgill. Pickersgill was in position and Pickersgill's going to be brought down on his own 40-metre line. Tackle number 1 here for the Bulls. They can build a bit of pressure here. It goes to Dawson Jones. Levi Nzongo about to come on. The first interchange for John Keir and the Bulls this afternoon. Oh, lovely ball out the back door there from Ross Oakes on the angle. Jordan Lilly had to dive forward for it. It was just a smidgen, a fraction behind play, and he has knocked the ball on. A 6th error of the Bulls, but you can just see it coming together slowly but surely. Liam Kirk off the field. Levi Nzongo comes on the field, and his white, red, amber and black shirt like a lighthouse out there, a beacon. Certainly going to be caked in mud when he comes in here into this tackle to bring down Alex Brown over on the far stand side. And Levi Nzongo, 22 years of age, his first Challenge Cup fixture, despite, as we said, being on loan at Toulouse and playing for Whitehaven and a whole host of clubs, including Salford and Hull FC. So, Underbank, 5 shy of halfway. It's a real attritional war. Certainly going down the trenches, down the middle of the park. And Underbank are going to kick early. Pickersgill out of position, does well, races back, picks the ball up in his own 10-metre line, carries it up, brought down 10 metres out. And you can see what Underbank have done there. Clever thinking on tackle number 3 by Richard Pogson to kick behind Pickersgill and turn the Bulls around, and now they will try and hunt the error. Defogging Johnson, second tackle gone, plays the ball behind him to Matty Dawson Jones. Dawson Jones comes over on this main stand side looking for a dry part of the field, which he does. Milnes out a dummy half, 10, 15 metres made, up to the Bradford 40-metre line. Rowan Milnes just pushed back there. Referee said get on with it. Down the middle now with the Frenchman, Levi Nzongo. He's brought down on halfway, last tackle. Doyle's out a dummy half to Milnes. Milnes, once again, the kick has been charged down by Underbank. Bradford still on the last tackle, not played it, says referee Worsley. Goes from Pickersgill to Lilly. Lilly looks up, looks to split Allet and Restall. Too much on that from Jordan Lilly, but it will allow the Bulls to set their defensive line up on the 30-metre line. A 7-tackle set here coming up for Underbank Rangers. We've had 27 minutes gone. Mick Gledder, Luke Mawson, Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2, and it remains tight and tense. Bradford Bulls 6, Underbank Rangers 0. A try in the 19th minute to Adam Rocks as Bradford are penalised for being offside in the 10. Penalty number 7 of the afternoon, the 4th to the visitors, and a chance now for Underbank to find touch on this main stand side. Richard Pogson, 10 metres inside the Bulls half. This is going to be a test of the Bulls defence. Roachford taps the ball on the right boot, gives it there to Williams. Williams brought down 40 metres out, centre field. Quick play the ball. Back it's going to go over on that left-hand edge now with former Sheffield Eaglesman Nathan Chappell. Chappell still going forward. Brown, Crossley coming. 3 Bradford defenders in there. Also with Sam Hallis. Down the middle, they go with Williams once again. Williams second carry. 40 metres out from that Bradford line. 3rd tackle gone, so Underbank not really making any penetration as it goes down that left-hand edge with Alex Brown. He gets the legs going forward. Joe Brown goes for that left leg. Bit of tailspin from Alex Brown. He'll play the ball, and he's lost it there, so Joe Brown does well. And Underbank have come up with their fourth error, and it will be scrum, head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. Once again, Bradford Bulls defence, their strong point here this afternoon, and the captain, Richard Pogson, has just said something to referee Cameron Worsley, and it's a penalty for dissent, and the Bulls will soak that up all afternoon. I think if the Bulls can get another try before half time, that will give them a lot of confidence. As we said, 6-0, game still in the balance. Brown will tap the ball 40 metres out. It goes to Enzongo. He puts the big fending on the chest there of Nathan Chappell, and he will get to his feet and he'll play the ball as George Flanagan comes on the field for his 200th career appearance. George Flanagan, ball in hand. Bradford awarded another penalty, their fifth of the afternoon, for hands in at the ruck. They looked at the post, looked to Kia. Kia said, don't take the two, put the pressure on. Flanagan, he will tap the ball, it goes to Crossley. Captain of the Bradford Bulls, rolled over inside the Underbank 20-metre line. Now it goes to Flanagan, short pass, Flanagan's over! He's just come on the field! And gorgeous George! He career appearance number 200! He's doubled the Bulls' lead! His first try of the season! And that was 8 weeks of frustration from the suspension and the off-season. It built up, and the climax, a second Bradford try. Bradford 10, Underbank 0.
Now that's what you call an impact sub. You couldn't write it, George Flanagan. He's had all this time off the field. He comes on, makes an impact within 5 seconds. Just what John Keir will have wanted, and that's the George Flanagan we love to see. And he looks a bit happy about that one, Mick, running back towards his own try line there. What an impact. What an impact, and just what Bradford needed, and just what substitutions are for. An absolute masterstroke by John Keir.
A crucial period in this game. We've just seen back-to-back penalties. The Bulls have the roll on, and George Flanagan taking that pass from Sam Hallis, and he's crossed 5 metres to the left-hand side of the post, and George Flanagan, the 33-year-old, he'll enjoy that one, as we said. It was building, and Bradford do have that killer second try before half-time. Rowan Milnes, pulse 2 kick predictor. 84%, just to the left-hand side of the post. With that left boot between the posts, that one will be piloted. And on Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2 this afternoon, we've got 10 minutes to go to half-time here in Dewsbury. It is Bradford Bulls 12, Underbank Rangers 0. Milnes 2 from 2. Rooks and Flanagan, the Bulls try scorers. And we've just seen Thomas Booth and Michael Holmes come on the field for the visitors. Michael Holmes, formerly of the Huddersfield Giants Academy, he's a prop forward, and he works with Bradford-based referee Liam Staveley, selling cars in Bradford. So, Michael Holmes from Huddersfield, born and raised, works currently in Bradford. So, like we say, we get these Challenge Cup ties every year, and there's all these interesting little bit of snippets. But Bradford on the restart. Levi Enzongo, tackle number 1, straight down the middle. George Flanagan looks for the support, wrapped up. 10 shy of halfway. Underbank just starting to struggle here. Gaps appearing. Lily's inside the Underbank half. Third tackle gone. Quick play the ball. Pickersgill now will have a tilt. It's one-man stuff from the Bulls, but they've gone 60 metres. Pickersgill looks for the offload. He's still not brought down. Pickersgill goes down the middle. Finds the support on the right-hand edge from Ebensker. Ebensker 10 metres out from the Underbank line. Last tackle here for the Bulls. He'll play the ball. Flanagan, he wants another. Takes the line on. He's coughed the ball up. It's gone forward. It's picked up there by Courtney Alette. Referee says no advantage. It's not got 10, and it will be a play the ball 10 metres out from the Underbank line. And I tell you what, Luke Mawson, George Flanagan, he has put a capital I and an exclamation mark on impact.
He's certainly a man on a mission, isn't he? You've seen that. He's just revitalised his Bradford outfit, re-energised them, and he's certainly turned the tide since he's come on, really. Bradford on top, he's just asserted their position as the dominant team in this game, as Bradford's defence then pushing Underbank back pushing Underbank man back 15 metres there towards his own line, and Bradford really on top here. Underbank will look to get to half-time unscathed, but Bradford looking re-enthused, re-energised by George Flanagan's introduction.
Bradford Bulls 12, Underbank Rangers 0. 8 minutes to go to half-time here. Bradford want to be in that draw, that 5th round Challenge Cup draw tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. Hull Kingston Rovers, Huddersfield Giants, Wakefield Trinity in Toronto, Wolfpack. They will join the rest of the sides progressing through. A long, long way to go between now and then, but so far so good for the Bulls. 12-0 up, and Underbank really struggling to find a way past this resilient, fortitude-defied Bulls defence. Once again, Underbank restricted to just their own 30-metre line. A kick out of dummy half from Richard Pogson. Out on the full. Bradford will have a chance 30 metres out now from that Underbank try line to get a 3rd try in this first half. As we said yesterday, there were wins for Sheffield over Halifax, Newcastle over Siddle, Featherstone over Barrow, and Swinton over Leigh Minor Rangers. Newcastle found it tough against Siddle. 30 points to 10 there. Rowan Mills is going to kick ahead. Manny Dawson-Jones looking to put pressure on. Bradford will force the goal line dropout. A deserved repeat set. That come on tackle number 2. Clever thinking from Mills. He got the nod from Oakes and Dawson-Jones. And Dawson-Jones, all that Super League experience bearing down there on Jamie Stringer. Jamie Stringer, safety first, took the ball over the dead ball line. He could hear Matty Dawson-Jones bearing down on him. Underbank's restart dealt with by Dawson-Jones on this main stand side. Picks it up on the Underbank 30, carries it up to the 20. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Milnes to Oakes. Oakes brought down by Garside and Stringer in a 2-man tackle. 15 metres out now, Bradford. Goes to Lilly in centre field to Nzongu. Nzongu with that leg drive. 10 metres out now. 2 tackles remaining for the Bulls. Flanagan's out there in at dummy half. Goes right to Hallis. Hallis now to Lilly. Lilly beats one. Lilly head down. Trying to zoom under the post. Brought down on tackle number 4. Bradford in a great position here. Flanagan out of dummy half. Wins the penalty because Underbank, the marker defence, the A and B markers, not square. It's a 6th penalty of the afternoon to the Bulls, and will John Keir here say go for the 2 points? It's right in front of the post. Mark Dunning looks to John Keir, and John Keir says keep the pressure on. George Flanagan taps the ball, looks and gives it to Ebensker. Ebensker looking for his first competitive try, and he's held up on top of that Underbank line. It's 12 points to 0 to the Bulls. 6 minutes to half-time. Milnes to Ross Oakes. Oakes down the middle, and he is brought down 5 metres out. Once again, Flanagan's in there at dummy half. Goes down the middle now with Levi Nzongu. Levi Nzongu! Nzongu's in! It's his first appearance in the Challenge Cup, and the 22-year-old, he's gone around and underneath the post like a half-back. And Bradford have their 3rd try. It's 16 points to 0. And just before half-time, the Bulls make some Underbank discipline pay daily.
Yeah, we spoke to Levy midweek, Mick, and he's a character, isn't he? And his try gift will certainly amuse some. He'll be surprised at himself with that one. He's not known for his try scoring, but he barged his way over there for his first try in Bradford colours, and just for a hard time, that's a real killer blow to the Underbank side, who've been spirited and determined throughout this first half. Bradford deserve that for me. They've certainly turned the screw over the last 10-15 minutes. George Flanagan coming on to help with that, and it is Pass who put Levy through. That Bradford attack starting to sync up a bit more now, and he's starting to see some completion and some execution on the end of some plays.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like the Bulls are dealing with any buffering that they had in that first half. Kick predictor 100%. Mills from in front. Gives it an almighty hoof in the mud. That one goes between the posts. Mills free from 3. And in this first half here at the Tetley Stadium in Dewsbury, the Bulls temporary home for season 2020. So far so good. for the Bradford Bulls. Tries from Adam Rooks, George Flanagan and Levi Nzongo. It is Bradford Bulls 18, Underbank Rangers 0, and we've got 2 minutes to go to half time. Don't forget to let us know your thoughts on this first half. Use the Pulse 2 app, it's free of charge, or you can just use the hashtag BullsLive, and you can tweet us at Pulse2MDL. Here's a try scorer on the restart. Levi Nzongo, brought down by 3 Underbank Rangers defenders. Thomas Stringer, one of those. He's a farmer, I do believe, based out there in Holmfirth. A nice part of the world, if you remember Last of the Summer Wine when it was on television. Here goes Flanagan out of dummy half, to Hallis, to Lilly, to Brown. Oh, Joe Brown's just gone without the ball, and Underbank, with a minute remaining on the clock here, although it's not an official clock, I must stress, will have one last chance here to get some points at the end of this first half. Bradford were just giving the ball a bit of flight, out wide, and Joe Brown, well, he only had Alex Brown ahead of him, and I'm sure he would have sucked him in, and Defogging Johnston, if he took the pass, would have been away and underneath the post. As it is, Bradford have to muscle up in defence here. They've done a lot of good, hard work in this first half. It has been attritional, as Underbank now, from that scrum, they are 20 metres out from the Bradford line. Restall's brought down underneath the Bradford post. Down the middle, they're going to go here with Hurst. Hurst to Holmes. Holmes is brought down 15 metres out now. We've got 30 seconds remaining on the clock here. Underbank know that time is of the essence. They're looking to breach the Bulls line for the first time this afternoon. But Richard Pogson will not be that person, because Lilly and Brown come in with Hallis, 3 Bulls defenders, all hungry and infused, pushing back outside the Bradford 20-metre line. In there at dummy half is Roachford. Roachford now will give it to Holmes. Holmes is brought down on tackle number 4. Run remaining here for Underbank as they go on that left-hand edge. Chappell kicks ahead. Pickersgill does well. Pickersgill read the ball superbly, and Bradford have the ball now. They've defended that set of pressure from Underbank on their own line, and they now will just run out time as the hooter sounds in the background. Defogging Johnston is wrapped up centre field, 20 metres out. Referee puts whistle to lips. Underway, Bradford will have first use of the ball, and they will play from left to right. Don't forget you can message us once again. Use the Bulls Live hashtag. You can get us on Twitter, Pulse2MDL. You can also get us on the Pulse 2 app. It is free of charge. The hooter sounds, the hooter man to our right, and the captain for Underbank, Richard Pogson, just putting the ball on the halfway line. Well, the Bulls reserves clash at home to Castleford was postponed on Thursday evening due to the bad weather. The match was due to be played at their new Bradford Park Avenue Horsfall Stadium home, following the decision to switch the base from Dudley Hills ground. That will now take place on Wednesday, February the 26th at 7:30. So that's something to look forward to if you can't wait till next Sunday's game against Oldham. Joe Brown, tackle 2. Plays the ball on his own 20-metre line. Defogging Johnson out of dummy half over on the fast-hand side. 5 metres in from touch. Lilly in there at dummy... Sorry, Flanagan in there at dummy half. To Lilly. Lilly now 10 shy of halfway on Bradford's 40-metre line. Quick play of the ball. Flanagan switches it left. Goes to Milnes, to Gallagher. Gallagher brought down in a 3-man tackle. Last tackle here for the Bulls. They lead Underbank by 18 points to 0. Lilly advances up to halfway, puts boot to ball, kicks over on the far-stand side to the winger, Jamie Stringer, and Jamie Stringer is going to be met there by the red, amber and black defensive line, 15 shy of halfway. So Underbank playing the ball deep inside their own half here. Owen Restall, tackle 2. He's brought down there by Levi Nzongo and Eben Skur. And as we said in that first half, Adam Rooks, George Flanagan and Levi Nzongo, the 3 try scorers for the Bradford Bulls. Underbank on halfway here. Just going to go down the middle with Holmes. Holmes rolled over on his back. 4th tackle gone here for Richard Knight's side. He must be incredibly proud of what his side have achieved in this first half. Pogson to Chappell. Chappell has lost the ball. Knock on. Good defence from Rooks, Flanagan and Nzongo. And it will be scrum, head and feed here to the Bradford Bulls. And as if by magic, the error count now is at 6 errors apiece. So, John Keir, he was certainly confident from his side, what they were going to do. It is a difficult filthy afternoon, but I guess it's literally roll your sleeves up and go back to basics. Today's all about competing and completing your sets of 6, defend well and remaining on your guard at all times, and that is what the Bulls have done. So far, so good this afternoon. So from the scrum, Flanagan to skirt, tackle 1, 5 inside the Underbank half, left of centre field. Flanagan spots a half chance. Flanagan's through a gap. Flanagan's away. 20 metres out now from the Underbank line. Bradford have some real ascendancy and momentum at the start of this second half. A penalty won by George Flanagan. 20 metres out in front of the post in a centre field position. Bradford's 7th penalty of the afternoon, and the referee will stop the clock because George Flanagan has a bit of claret running there from the cheek. So Matt Duke, the Bulls physio, will come on with the magic sponge, and that'll allow the trainers and physios from Underbank and Bradford to come on the field. And I know we've only had a couple of minutes after half time, but they will take on fluids here. It is a windy, cold afternoon, but the sun is shining, so perhaps a bit of energy sapping conditions. And as we said, Bradford 5-time Challenge Cup winners. I wasn't around for the first 3 back in 44, 47 and 49. All wins at Wembley against Wigan 8-3, Leeds 8-4 and Halifax 12-0. The Trevor Foster final. Bradford want to be in that 5th round draw tomorrow. George Flanagan shows goals, brought down a metre out from that Underbank line. Time back on here. Hallis is in there at dummy half. Fires it to Milnes. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill showing good evasive qualities. He's brought down 2 metres out from the Underbank line over in that far stand corner. Flanagan wants a double, and Flanagan, his run out of dummy half is halted. 4th tackle gone here for John Kerr and the Bulls. In centre field now to Milnes. Milnes to Nzongu. Short ball. The prop forward for Bradford. Nzongu wrapped up, 5 out underneath the post. Last tackle here. Flanagan to Lilly. Lilly out wide to Brown. Bradford have numbers queuing up. Joe Brown takes the line on, and Joe Brown has been caught high, and it's another penalty here. The referee will stop the clock. Players come running in, and it's just a little bit of pushing and shoving. No real handbags here. Referee Cameron Worsley will take a report from the touch judge. Nothing serious. We might see a yellow card. He's going to. Is he gonna? It was a try scoring situation. Is he going to give him the benefit of the doubt? I think he is. Just, well, he's pulling up his shorts. It looked like he was going for the back pocket there. I would be very, very surprised if Underbank were down to 12 men for something like that. So it's a penalty to the Bradford Bulls. 10 metres out from the Underbank line. Bradford 18, Underbank 0. And Bradford will have a full set of 6 now on their opponent's line. It's Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2. Mick Little, Luke Mawson. Here we go then. Lilly to Skur. Skur 2 metres out from that Underbank line. Flanagan's in at dummy half. Flanagan picks the ball up down the middle to Hallis. Hallis, his run is halted underneath the post. Bradford still where they were. 2 tackles gone. Flanagan now scoops it out, gives it to Milnes. Milnes to Gallagher. Was Gallagher caught high? Referee will say on the shoulder first. Gallagher to his feet. Milnes out of dummy half to Nzongu. Levi Nzongu attacks those Underbank marker defenders, and he's rolled over on his back on top of that line. 4th tackle gone here for John Kerr and the Bulls. Real attritional affair in the mud. Milnes floats it out wide to Brown. Brown to Johnson. Defogging Johnson. He was put off in at the corner by Courtney Atlett, and that is an error from the Bulls. A chance has gone begging. Oh, Richard Knight. He is brimming. He's got a smile like a Cheshire cat on the touchline. He's enjoying that one, and that will be scrum, head and feed to Underbank Rangers. So they've passed that first test and examination by the Bulls on their own try line. 44 minutes gone in this tie here this afternoon. Just a little bit of a lull at the start of the second half, Luke, and I think if John Kerr, as we know, is ever the perfectionist, he'll be a little bit disappointed that the Bulls couldn't further extend their lead after having 3 sets of 6 there.
Definitely on a couple of occasions you saw a couple of poor bits of skill, some bits of skill not executed well there at all, and struggling to get to grips with this wind in the second half, going in a different direction to the first. So both sides are just edging their way into proceedings at the start of this second half. Bradford will just look to keep Underbank inside their own half, establish that field position and continue the domination in terms of territory and put some more points on the board as well.
Underbank then moving the ball deep inside their own half. They've gone for a 40-20 here. It should just hold up, but Pickersgill, he's read that one well. Out of dummy half there from Richard Pogson. That's gone over the dead ball line. And when we say the pitch is really boggy, soggy, muddy, he's somehow managed to, from his own 20-metre line, kick that over the dead ball line. So, as we said, the sun's starting to dry out the playing surface here on top of Dewsbury Moor. Jordan Lilly will tap it on the 20-metre line to Fogging Johnston. D. Fogging Johnston brought down, 20 shy of the halfway line. 15 appearances last season, 5 tries, D. Fogging Johnston. He's got the nod ahead of Greg Johnson, what would have been his 150 career appearance this afternoon. Lilly out of dummy half to Rooks. Oh, Adam Rooks. I know we've given a lot of plaudits to Gallagher and Skur, but Adam Rooks has done nothing wrong this afternoon. Gets to his feet, plays the ball. Browning at dummy half to Hallis. Bradford building a momentum here. They're 40 metres out from the Underbank line. 2 tackles remaining. Flanagan to Skur. Skur goes straight down the middle. He's made 20 metres there, Eben Skur. And Bradford are knocking on that Underbank door. Here goes Flanagan. Out of dummy half. He's a man possessed. Flanagan looks to find the support. Levy Nzongu. Nzongu's brought down in front of the post protector on the last tackle. Bradford on that Underbank line. It is another penalty to the Bradford Bulls. 9 penalties to 4 now. Referee Worsley losing a little bit of patience with the men from Home Firth. The post checking there the impact of Levy Nzongu carrying the ball in. We've had 46 minutes gone here. 18-0, Eben Skur has a tilt at the line, pushed back in the field of play. Bradford have numbers on that left-hand edge. Flanagan goes there, it goes to Hallis. Hallis twists and turns, Hallis is over, he's got the ball down but he's held up. Great defence. Owen Restall coming at the side. Bradford go back to the 10. Well, on plays like this, you're asking yourself, who's the Championship side and who's the National Conference League side? Here goes Milnes. Pass back to Flanagan. Flanagan head down. Darts towards the line. Oh, Maneely and Pogson wrap him up underneath the post. Quick play the ball now. It goes to Lilly. To Rooks. Rooks is in for a double, is he? He's twisted, turning, pushed down. And he's turned over on his back. A metre out from the Underbank line. And they force the error there. It's Richard Pogson once again and Nathan Chappell. And the ball's come loose. And it remains Bradford Bulls 18, Underbank Rangers 0. And it's Underbank's turn now to show a wall of defiance in defence, as we're going to see Dan Wake-Pullen come on for his Bradford Bulls debut. He's just getting final instruction and word from Matt Duke, Adam Simpson and Mark Dunning. Matty Race was named in the 21-man squad after impressing in those recent reserve defeats to Hull FC and the Leeds Rhinos. And we're hoping that the month of May, which is next week, is going to herald some firmer, more favourable conditions. Because since the season started and throughout the pre-season, we've just been playing on cow patches of a field. Underbank doing well though, moving it down that middle channel. It goes towards Morehouse. Roachford has done exceptionally well in there at dummy half, but Maneely's back out there to take over the mantle, and Maneely out of dummy half. Rooks there and Flanagan do well. Maneely on the halfway line, straight down the middle. It's going to go with Danny Hurst. Hurst pushed back towards halfway. Eben Skur, George Flanagan and Joe Brown will wrap Danny Hurst up. The standoff half for Underbank Rangers, and Underbank the visitors trailing 18-0 on the last tackle. Straight out of dummy half there from Roachford. Kicks ahead, chance for Underbank. Pickersgill has lost the ball 10 metres out from the Bradford try line. Pickersgill's first error of the afternoon, and look what it means there to Richard Pogson, the captain with a black scrum cap. He gives Underbank that natural lift. He's saying, come on, we've got the Bulls here. We could be about to get our first point of the afternoon. Referee Worsley puts the scrum down. 50 minutes reached 10 gone in this second half. No change to the half-time scoreboard. On the Pulse 2 scoreboard, Bradford 18, Underbank 0. Now this is really going to test the Bulls' defence here as Chappell is brought down in front of the post on tackle 1, and it's a penalty to Underbank. Sam Hallis is being adjudged to have held down in the tackle, and the referee's going to stop the clock here because Nathan Chappell was having a very strong word with the referee, and referee Worsley saying, I'm the referee, I'm the sole arbiter, and now the referee wants to have a word with Sam Hallis and saying, look, my decision's final. Here we go. Right in front of the Bradford post. Can Underbank? Well, they've tapped the ball without the referee whistle, so he still stopped the clock here. There's a trainer still on the field just attending to Brad Gallagher over on the far stand side. A bit of claret coming from Brad Gallagher's nose, so that is just going to halt proceedings up a little bit longer here at the Tetley Stadium. But real fascinating cup tie. It's Bradford 18, Underbank 0. Don't forget you can message us on the Bulls Live hashtag. Get us on the app. You can also get us at Pulse 2 Matchday Live. And here we go. We're finally up and away after a couple of minutes stoppage. Underbank, full set of 6, 10 metres out. Can they score here? Goes out of dummy half, goes to Hurst. Oh, they've knocked the ball on there. Sam Roachford in at dummy half. They can't make it to tackle 2. Oh, the shame of it. Pulse 2 scoreboard, Bradford 18, Underbank 0.
Underbank with first real opportunity since the opening 10 minutes to trouble the Bradford line there. Unfortunately, couldn't keep hold of the ball. Conditions for that acting half tricky there, picking it up out of a real sloppy bit of mud there, and Bradford emerged unscathed. A bit of a warning sign for Bradford these last few minutes. You can't take your eye off the ball, you've still got to execute your plays, execute your defensive sets, don't give away any silly penalties, because Underbank will have spells in this game where they can trouble the Bradford defence again, near the Bradford line as showed there.
Adam Rooks leaves the field. Dan Waite Pullen comes on for his Bradford Bulls debut. So there we go. Lily's in there at dummy half. Bradford 10 shy of halfway. Goes to Milnes. Milnes to Hallis. Sam Hallis wearing 13. Brought down 5 shy of halfway. Centre field position here for the Bulls. Flanagan flapping the arms for a penalty. Gives it to Lily. Lily back to Skur. Skur along the line to Nzongu. It goes to Gallagher. Here goes Manny Dawson-Jones. He is running well in tight space. And he's brought down 20 metres out. Last tackle here for the Bulls. They're calling for it over on this main stand side. Milnes along the line. It goes down the middle there with Skur. Skur back to Hallis. Hallis to Lily. Lily bullet pass to Brown. Brown kicks it towards Alex Brown. Alex Brown has kicked it out of play, and this would be a scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. No, it won't. He won't say it was played at. So Underbank get the rub of the green there. George Flanagan having a word with the referee and saying that was played at, but referee Worsley shakes his head and said ball played the man rather than the man playing the ball. And here in Dewsbury, on Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2, a bit of a subdued atmosphere at the start of this second half. It remains Bradford Bulls 18, Underbank Rangers 0. We've had 53 minutes gone, 27 remain, and credit to Underbank. The scoreboard has not been troubled in this second half, and they've got a real performance they can be proud of. Alex Brown now carries the ball in. Dan Waite Pullen does well. On debut, remember. Hallis in there at dummy half. Hallis attacks Alex Brown, and Alex Brown has done something out of dummy half, and that will be a penalty to the Bulls in front of the opponent's posts, and Bradford now will have a chance after their 10th penalty in this game from 20 metres out. John Keir once again says we don't want to take the 2, we want to get the roll on. I suspect if this is awarded next week with Bradford 18 up, they will take the 2 points, but here we go. Flanagan to Waite Pullen. Waite Pullen brought down 8 metres out from the Underbank line. The post shaking, the wind just up in its intensity. Flanagan across the face of the post. Could have been penalised there for going behind Hallis. Referee gives him the benefit of the doubt, and Flanagan's brought down for Bradford 10 metres out. It now goes from Milnes. Levi Nzongu, the former Albi Tigers, Melbourne Storm man, brought down on his back. He's already got one try. Will he get another? No, he won't. Brought down. Here it goes towards Eben Skur now. Hallis out of dummy half to Skur. Skur brought down on his right shoulder, turned in the tackle. And Bradford, well, they're just doing the one-man rugby here. It's not pretty, but it's sufficient. Milnes along the line now to Pickersgill. Pickersgill has Dawson Jones outside him, and Pickersgill's pass to Matty Dawson Jones has gone into touch. The cheers in the background are the Underbank supporters, and once again, Underbank keep their line intact. Bradford 18, Underbank 0. On the Pulse 2 scoreboard. So just to recap what happened on Friday and Saturday in the Coral Challenge Cup, it was the fourth round. On Friday, West Yorkshire side Batley went down at the Lee Sports Village against Lee Centurions by 36 points to 10, and then yesterday it was Sheffield Eagles 20, Halifax 18. I was at that game. It was played at Bellevue Wakefield. Because Sheffield's stadium at Olympic Legacy Park, the stand still going up there, and their temporary home in Doncaster wasn't available, so a very narrow, gutsy display by the Eagles, and it was Siddle 10, Newcastle 30, Featherstone 18, Barrow 16, Swinton 56, Lee Minor Rangers 0. Underbank awarded a penalty from that scrum, and the referee will stop the clock. There's just been another coming together here. I hate to say it, Luke, and I love rugby league as much as the next man, but I think both sides are probably quite happy for the hooter to go now.
Yeah, Bradford obviously in a strong position, courtesy of that into that first half, but they come out of the second half not in that same vein as we saw towards in that first half, and it's very much mirrored the opening 20 minutes of this game, and Underbank well in this game as things stand. Bradford will look to put this one well and truly to bed, but they need to stop giving away these silly penalties.
Underbank's sixth penalty then of the afternoon. This David versus Goliath tie going the way of Goliath so far, but Underbank Rangers, they'll have won many rugby league admirers for this display here against the Bradford Bulls. Alex Brown, tackle number 1. Wake Pullen and Brown bring him down. Here goes Nzongu out of the defensive line. It's warming up out there on the field, let me tell you. I'm reading the body language of the players, and I think this might just explode any second. Alex Brown's got the ball again, and he's brought down, this time by Lilly, and Flanagan, the former Bradford man, gets to his feet. The Jamaican international for Underbank plays the ball. Underbank now inside the Bradford half. Owen Restill, he's rolled over on the last tackle by Skur and Wake Pullen. Underbank are going to kick ahead here with Pogson. Pogson chasing the kick. This time Pickersgill does well. Pogson in tandem with Alec brings him down 5 out from his own line, and now Bradford have a bit of work to do here. We're slowly approaching the hour mark at the Tetley Stadium. Still Bradford 18, Underbank 0, Rooks, Flanagan and Nzongu, the three Bradford try scorers this afternoon. Dawson Jones on tackle number 2, plays the ball. Lilly now goes out of dummy half. Sharp as an arrow there from Lilly. 10 metres made. Doyle coming on for Flanagan. And George Flanagan, welcome back. You can tell what the fans think of George Flanagan's first appearance in a Bradford Bulls shirt since last August. Milnes on the last tackle. He's been impeded, has he? Referee says play on. He's kicked the ball ahead of him. Dealt with there by Restill. And Underbank have the ball back, 5 shy of the halfway line. And it's still Bradford 18, Underbank 0. Underbank really making Bradford work hard this afternoon. Underbank on this main stand side now. Nathan Chappell offloads the ball. It goes back to Hurst. Danny Hurst along the line. Hurst is brought down by Nzongu on the halfway line. Underbank still have 3 tackles remaining here. 5 inside the Bradford half. 45 away from the Bulls line. Pogson to Roachford. Roachford pushed back in the field of play. He's brought down just inside the Bulls half. Out of dummy half now towards Pogson from Manili. Pogson kicks ahead. Dealt with by Pickersgill. Pickersgill does exceptionally well here to return the ball. 10 metres, 20 shy of halfway. Lily's in at dummy half. Goes now to Wake Pullen. Wake Pullen's brought down. His fourth carry since coming on, and he's just shy of halfway. Lily's in at dummy half. Fogging Johnson bombed a try early in this second half, looking to make amends. Just inside the Underbank half now. Doyle to Hallis. Hallis, one-man rugby from the ball, straight down the middle. It's not pretty, I must confess. Referee's going to stop the clock here. Underbank have a player down in back play, and Sam Hallis will be getting to his feet to play the ball. 10 metres inside the Underbank half, and the touch judge is coming on the field here. Not sure if he's reporting anything to the referee. Sam Hallis is having words with the touch judge, and it is a head concussion knock for the Underbank player. So Bradford 18, Underbank 0. Where do you see this one going, Luke, as we approach the hour mark here? I don't think we're going to have that David versus Goliath Challenge Cup shock. We'll just get your thoughts in a moment. Referee happy now for play to go on. Fourth tackle coming up. Hallis will play the ball. Doyle, Lily. Lily once again. Now Eben Skur. Eben Skur finds the support from Mills. And Mills is brought down 20 metres out on that last tackle. They're going over on the short-hand side. Through Pickersgill. Out wide. Manny Dawson-Jones. He'll skirt with the touchline. But it's gone forward. Try disallowed. And it's Bradford 18, Underbank 0.
Yeah, unlucky there. That pass just drifted forward from Brandon Pickersgill into Matty Dawson-Jones, but more like it from Bradford, and it complete the sets. You know, just manage this game out for air and end it. Underbank can still be proud of their efforts, but Bradford enjoying a lot more field position, and they should look to just manage to see this game out now and get some more points on the board, just for their own confidence as well heading into next week.
I tend to agree. Confidence for next week. Alex Brown swatted D. Fogging Johnson off. Well, he elbowed D. Fogging Johnson in the face there, but he was trying to wrestle Fogging Johnson off him. He'll play the ball, 10 shy of halfway. Once again, out of dummy half by Manili. Rolled over on this main stand side by Lilly and Brown. Underbank on the last tackle, just inside the Bradford half. Filthy conditions here this afternoon. Kick goes up from Pogson on the last tackle. Caught there by Mills, and Mills is going to be brought down 25 out from his own try line, and we've just hit the hour mark here. So 20 minutes remain this afternoon. Here goes Ross Oakes. Ross Oakes caught on the shoulder. 12 shy of halfway here for Bradford. Lilly runs and goes himself. Makes 8 metres forward. Pogson wraps him up. Pickersgill now, out of dummy half. Safety first from the Bradford Bulls. And I'm guessing that's all they've got to do this afternoon. Just basically get the name, the Bradford Bulls, and ball number 3 in that draw tomorrow evening. Fourth tackle gone. Bradford inside the Underbank half now. Eben Skur, 20 metres forward there. Bradford 20 metres out now on that fifth and last tackle. Doyle out of dummy half. Looks to part that Underbank defence, carries it in, last tackle play, and he's brought down 5 metres out from that Underbank try line, and it remains on the Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford Bulls 18, Underbank Rangers 0, and I'm guessing Underbank head coach Richard Knight, when we speak to him at full time in the press conference, he's going to be absolutely delighted with this performance of his side. They've shown real resilience. They could have easily folded after those quick fire tries from Flanagan and Nzongu late in that first half. Liam Kirk about to come on the field. John Keir's 6th interchange of the afternoon as Bradford managed to restrict Underbank to just 20 metres here, but there's been pushing and shoving at the ruck. Tom Doyle and Gallagher, 2 former Bradford Academy players who've come through the system, are penalised, and slowly but surely the penalty count is evening up. It's now Bradford 10, Underbank 7 on the penalty count, and like we say, Luke Mawson, you know, there's a fine line between what constitutes a professional performance, but I'm guessing Bradford, you know, this picking the ball up out of dummy half, a lot of one-man rugby straight down the middle. They lead 18-0, safety first. They don't really need to risk their name and place in the draw, because as we said, straight pass, throwing it around, could see Underbank back in this game.
Exactly right, Mickey. Bradford 18 points to the good with 15 minutes left here. You don't need to do anything stupid. Conditions are tough enough as it is. Just play safe rugby, complete your sets, manage the game, and enjoy watching the draw tomorrow night.
As I said, we'll have reaction to that draw on Pulse 2 on Tuesday morning. Be interesting to see who Bradford get at present with 15 minutes remaining. As we said, the big guns are coming in. Hulkiston Rovers, Huddersfield Giants, Bradford Bulls. What a game that would be. Anyway, Underbank, 30 metres out from the Bradford line. Manili in there at dummy half. Attacks that marker defence, but Doyle and Milnes and Skur come in. Last tackle now for the Underbank Rangers side. A clever kick from Restill, dealt with by Pickersgill. Pickersgill pushed back towards his own goal line. Cheers there from the Underbank supporters. And now Bradford have a bit of work to do, moving the ball out from their own try line as Defogging Johnston is brought down there on tackle number 2. Matty Dawson-Jones is in there at dummy half, and Matty Dawson-Jones will carry Bradford just up to their own 20-metre line. So Levy and Zongo leaves the field. Liam Kirk back on. Good direct running out of dummy half as Jordan Lilly will carry Bradford 15 shy of halfway. Tries to win a penalty. Referee will shout held as Chappell and Pogson release Lilly and allow him to play the ball. Bradford on the last tackle, just inside their own half here. Doyle's in there at dummy half, goes to Milnes. Milnes' kick, it's caught the wind. It'll come down kindly there for Stringer on that far stand side, and he is going to meet that Bradford Bulls defence of Milnes, Hallis and Doyle head on over on that left hand edge. Quick play the ball here from Underbank. Guessing they were really proud of their efforts here this afternoon. In about 5 minutes time, Luke, I'm going to ask you for your 4 Bradford Bulls live men of the match as Danwick Pullen comes in and puts a bit of a big don't argue there on young Jacob Garside. Garside gets to his feet. It's all smiles and he says, well done, mate. I enjoyed that one. Underbank just inside the Bradford half now. Pogson to Brown. Brown's gone without the ball. He punches the air. He shows disgust, frustration there, creeping in to the former Jamaican international Batley Hull Kingston Rover man. Once upon a time, scored 4 tries in a Challenge Cup tie for Hull Kingston Rovers. Scrum head and feed here to the Bradford Bulls on their own 40-metre line as Steve Crossley is about to come on for the final 13 minutes or so here. So Jordan Lilly, he will feed the scrum here, 20 metres in from this main stand side, 10 shy of halfway. Doyle will take the ball out, it'll go to Joe Brown. Joe Brown fronts up, throws himself into that tackle. He's wrapped up well there by Mark Boothroyd. And Mark Boothroyd, the back row forward for Underbank, has forced the Bulls into error number 12 of the afternoon as Eben Skur leaves the field for Steve Crossley. Luke, no time like the present. Which 4 Bradford Bulls players have impressed you? And I've disrobed Mystic Meg's ball. I think George Flanagan's going to be on the man of the match list.
Definitely no doubt about that one, Mick. Oh, some good juggling skills there from Courtney Alette for Underbank there, keeping all of the ball on halfway with the wind taking that one. But George Flanagan's definitely up there for me. Is the impact he had on the game, the injection of energy, really turned this cup tie in Bradford's favour. George Flanagan, I think Levy and Zongo as well coming off the bench. I think Eben Skur as well coming off the bench. Those 3 in particular. I also think I'm going to go Sam Hallis. I think Sam Hallis has really fronted up in the middle. He's put another 80-minute performance. So I think Sam Hallis, Eben Skur, Levy and Zongo and George Flanagan.
Well, there we go, listeners. Vote away. We will be interviewing the man of the match as chosen by you, and you can hear his thoughts next week ahead of Bradford's trip against Oldham. Underbank here, 12 metres out on the last tackle now. It's going to go to Pogson, the scrum half, takes the line on, kicks ahead. Lilly does well, picks the ball up. Lilly's in a foot race. He gets absolutely monstered there by Restill, and now Pogson flops on Jordan Lilly. And Lilly looks up, the referee's arm pointing towards the Bulls post. It's another penalty. Been a bit of a stop-start, scrappy affair here in this second half. the conditions really dictating, as we say, safety first from the Bradford Bulls. And I suspect when we speak to John Keir at full time, yes, there will be a few complaints that the Bulls haven't been throwing the ball around with Gay Abandon, but at the end of the day, you know, a Challenge Cup run, as we saw last year when Bradford hosted Leeds in front of a crowd of over 10,000, it can be worth a lot of money to the club. Bradford then, 10 metres in field, attacking that Underbank line. Steve Crossley, second tackle gone. Doyle's in there at dummy half. It goes to Liam Kirk down the middle, third tackle gone. Bradford knocking at that Underbank door once again. They've not been down here for a good 20 minutes now. Lilly takes the line on Lilly through a gap. He had Brown outside him, keeps hold of the ball. Fourth tackle gone. Bradford 10 metres out now. Doyle's in at dummy half, goes towards Danwait Pullen. Will he cap his debut with a try? He's brought down 5 metres out. Bradford on the last tackle, underneath the Underbank post here. Doyle, it goes to Crossley. Crossley along line to Mills. Mills peppers one behind the line. Underbank scramble back, and they do well. So the 4 players in the Bulls Live man of the match: George Flanagan, Eben Sker, Levi Nzongu and Sam Hallas. George Flanagan, Eben Sker, Levi Nzongu and Sam Hallas. Underbank. Wow, the story of the game is actually going to be Underbank's resilience and fortitude in defence, because they've kept Championship side Bradford Bulls scoreless in this second half at present. We've got 12 minutes to go to half time. Underbank are on their own 30-metre line. 4 Bradford players there in that defensive line: Brown, Hallas, Doyle and Foggin Johnston. Here goes Allet, Courtney Allet. He's brought down 10 shy of halfway on the Underbank 40-metre line. Liam Kirk and Crossley, the 2 Bulls markers. Ryan Manili, he's had enough. He will drill that dead over the dead ball line. Splits Pickersgill and Dawson Jones. And Dawson Jones will pick the ball up over the Bradford dead ball line. 7 tackle set coming up here for the Bradford Bulls. Well, certainly Bradford are going to face a tough task next Sunday. Oldham at Bowerfold. Oldham playing their home games in Staley Bridge once again. A venue that has not been kind to the Bulls in recent years, as Bradford are awarded their 12th penalty of the afternoon. 10 shy of halfway, D. Foggin Johnson has took a high tackle to the face. So, Rowan Milnes, a chance to find touch over on the far stand side. Bradford looking for their first points in this second half. 40 metres out now. 9 minutes remaining on the clock. Brad Gallagher, fearless in nature, takes tackle number 1. 12 metres to the left-hand side of the post. It now goes to Milnes, to Oakes. On that left-hand edge, Bradford, 20 metres out now. Back they're going to go down the middle with Liam Kirk. Kirk's brought down. Doesn't score many, Liam Kirk. Doyle's in at dummy half. To Rowan Milnes. Rowan Milnes. Oh, champagne pass there towards Pickersgill, but it's gone to ground. Chance gone begging. And it remains on the Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford 18. Underbank nil. Luke Hossard, just tell us about this Underbank defence.
One thing we didn't want from this sort of game, Mick, was it to get too one-sided, but there'll be no danger of that with this Underbank defence, especially the second half. A really spirited effort. They can be proud of everything they've done today. It's been a really good cup tie. You know, they've come here with no fear whatsoever, and certainly given Bradford Bulls a game. So full credit to Richard Knight and everyone associated with Underbank. They've put on a really good show in front of the BBC cameras this afternoon, and hopefully it's a good money spinner for them as a club, so they can carry on progressing.
Well, less than 10 minutes left. You've got the option for the man of the match, or the men of the match, and also your 5-word match reviews. Let us know what you think about this performance if you have listened to Pulse 2 all afternoon. It's Mick Liddell, Luke Mawson here. Closing minutes of this one. Underbank kick over the top from Pogson. Pogson looks to regather. It's Alex Brown. Alex Brown has kicked it into touch. Oh, if Alex Brown kicks that the other way, there's bedlam in defence for the Bulls. They were all loaded on this near stand side, and that was so unlucky. Cruel luck there against Underbank, the National Conference League side. They will start their season 2 weeks on Saturday. They will face York Acorn, who of course were in the Challenge Cup and made it to the third round. So for Bradford next week against Oldham, for Underbank they get a week off and then they start the season. So from the scrum, 25 metres out, Defogging Johnston, tackle 1. Takes the ball just to the left of centre field. Gallagher tackle 2, rolled over. Just looking down the middle of the field, it really is just like a mud bath here. Real difficult to get any traction and any forward momentum, but credit to the forwards. It's one of those afternoons where you have to roll the sleeves up, you have to complete your sets of 6, defend well and remain on your guard as Bradford now inside the Underbank half with Rowan Milnes. Milnes is brought down 12 metres in field. Tackle number 4 coming up. Doyle to Hallis. Hallis to Pickersgill. Pickersgill has the support. Out wide to Oakes. Oakes back on the inside. And Rowan Milnes is going to swan dive over the line. And Bradford at long last will break this Underbank resistance. It's 22 points to 0. And it's in the 75th minute here. And Bradford now, well, that will confirm their standing. They will be in the Coral Challenge Cup 5th round draw tomorrow evening. It's live at 6:30 from Hulkington Rovers Craven Park ground. And there's some tasty teams coming in. Hulkington Rovers, Huddersfield, Wakefield, Toronto even. And that now will surely put a bit of gloss on this Bulls performance. A frustrating second half at times, but as we said, they've rolled the sleeves up, they've done the hard work, and Rowan Milnes will attempt the conversion to the left-hand side of the post. The kick predicted because the wind is against him at 48%, but 22-0, Mr. Luke Mawson.
It came out of nowhere, did that one, didn't it, really? Make the game just look to be lulling into a bit of a quiet finish, but as Thomas Doyle comes off the pitch, it was his half break that set up that try. He found Rowan Milnes and then some good hands, Brandon Pickersgill, Ross Oakes, and then Rowan Milnes finishing off a move he started on the back of Thomas Doyle's play. So nice way to finish the game for Bradford and the supporters, and certainly everyone can look round to now potentially mouth-watering round 5 tie against who do you think, Mick?
Rowan Milnes, the conversion has just caught a gust of wind and it's been blown back in the field of play. So Rowan Milnes, his first miss of the afternoon. Still a valiant effort with the boot in these difficult conditions. 3 from 4, 75%. Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. It is Bradford Bulls 22, Underbank Rangers 0. Rooks, Flanagan, Nzongo and Milnes. Well, you've asked me a question there. Who do I want in the next round? Well, it's an interesting one. Do you go for the big tie and a big cup shock, a big crowd here or a big crowd elsewhere, and knowing that the club are going to make potentially a large amount of money, or do you go for there's still a couple of League One teams in there, North Wales Crusaders, Hunslet are still going to be in there, Workington, Doncaster, do you go for an easy tie not an easy tie, none of them are easy ties, but do you go for a tie which is favourable? I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Interesting. I tell you what, give me Wakefield, Huddersfield here. Wow, what an occasion. Bradford on the restart, up and over halfway now with Dan Wake pulling. They've got a spring in their step, closing 5 minutes here. Flanagan out of dummy half, back on the field for Doyle, finds Lilly. Lilly now to Hallis. Hallis runs it in. And Hallis is rolled over on tackle number 4, and it's another penalty here to the Bradford Bulls because there's hands in at the ruck. 13th penalty of the afternoon to John Keir's side. Jordan Lilly points to the post, but Flanagan wants to tap the ball, and look at George's enthusiasm. Oh, give him a blue Peter badge. Look at him go. Flanagan to that left-hand edge now. Finds Liam Kirk. Kirk's brought down. 15 metres out. Bradford hunting a 5th try here, right at the end of this afternoon's game. Flanagan takes the line on. I suspect he's going to get the man of the match vote, and he's rolled over in front of the post. Hallis is in there at dummy half. Fires the ball to Crossley. Captain Crossley rolled over on his back. Good scrambling defence there. Underbank managing to tip Steve Crossley up over the line, and he will go back to the 10-metre line to play the ball. Right in front of the post to Liam Kirk. Liam Kirk halted 5 metres out. A tackle remaining here. Flanagan to Lilly to Fogging Johnston. Fogging Johnston takes on that Underbank line. He's brought down 2 metres out. This is the 5th and last tackle for the Bradford Bulls. Flanagan tries to pinch one out of dummy half. He's pushed backwards, rolls over on his backside, and it remains on the Pulse 2 scoreboard. Bradford Bulls 22, Underbank 0. Chris Lee Hudson messaging says stuck in a hospital in St Lucia. Missed the flights home. Really need a big Bulls win to cheer us up a little. Come on, you Bulls. So there we go. Underbank now moving the ball forward after that changeover in possession. Hallis has Alex Brown down on the floor, and the players come together. Oh, it's all part of the prestige of the Challenge Cup. It wouldn't be rugby league if you've got a referee and touch judges trying to separate 2 sets of mud-stained players. You can see the mist coming off the breaths as the temperature starts to drop here this afternoon, and the referee just stopping the clock. He wants a word with Steve Crossley. And I tell you what, I think there's going to be a bit of shirt swapping at the end, Luke, because the Underbank side, they're going to enjoy this afternoon. We've got a minute remaining on the clock, and it's still Bradford 22, Underbank 0. Let's see what happens here on this play. Well, the attendance is going to be given, 1,458. Underbank, of course, will get half of that. And don't forget the 5-word match reviews. Send them in, fire them in, and we'll read them out before full time. So we need to time added on here at the Tetley Stadium. Bradford 22, Underbank 0. As they go down the middle channel here. Once again, Steve Crossley, Flanagan in defence. Goes towards Chappell, to Holmes. Out towards Newton. Newton's fired the ball into touch. The referee will put the scrum down, scrum head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. Well, I'll tell you what, Luke Mawson, another encouraging crowd here at the Bulls temporary home. 1,458 in attendance.
I think we've all been absolutely delighted with the first 2 crowds of the season, and then this one for a cup tie. You do see a drop in crowds, but certainly encouraging to see the number of supporters who've come out to support both teams here today. And Underbank brought a great following themselves, and I hope they've enjoyed their day here at the Tetley Stadium. But we've seen a lot of support. There's a nice flowing move, sends Ross Oakes down this left wing. Good scrambling defence by Underbank, but some real good support shown by the Bradford fans coming here in their numbers throughout the start of this season. And although the crowds might seem small, they've certainly packed out the Tetley Stadium as the hooter goes for full time, and the Bradford Bulls have booked a place in the 5th round of the Coral Challenge Cup with a 22-0 victory over Underbank Rangers, Mick.